Hi everyone, thank you for watching Pfaff YouTube. I'm here with Mark Vasili at Pfaff McLaren. We are so thrilled because the McLaren Artura has just landed here for the week.
Yes.
Mark, such a anticipated car for so many reasons.
Very much so.
First of all, what are your first impressions of the Artura?
I'm absolutely in love. I showed up today before we started, saw the car getting cleaned up, and right off the bat, it was unique. It had a presence unlike most of our cars did well, I would say most of our cars did.
Yes.
Yeah, no matter where you look at it, I mean, I've been on my knees looking around through all the little openings of the car. I've sat inside of it. I am thoroughly impressed from every angle and every aspect of this new model from McLaren.
What does this mean for McLaren? This is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, but
Yep.
the plug-in is specifically used and installed in this car to give it more power?
It's actually a combination of
Okay.
things. I mean, obviously with McLaren, our DNA is to make cars perform.
Yeah.
And usually that means power and performance and speed. But there's also an efficiency that comes with hybrid technology that now we've kind of seen on a more, I guess, tangible road car than say the P1 or the Speedtail. So yes, when we combine gas, petrol, and electric power, we make some serious performance. I mean, Formula One offers the same sort of technology. But what we can do here on a road car is, let's be honest, we don't need performance all the time. So why not create some efficiencies and economies? And you can drive this car in full electric mode for 30 kilometers, which is incredible because I don't know how most people, what their commute is, but I think 30K can usually get to you where you need to go, right?
Absolutely.
In a supercar. So yeah, very, very impressed by that. It's the next generation of basically the P1 e-motor. So basically the idea is torque fill. So you basically have your full electric mode to drive on. But twin turbo engines, they usually take a bit of time to build boost and give you that surge of performance. You don't have to worry about that now because the electric motor has 100% torque available at 0 RPM. So you push that gas pedal down and this car's going to take off. There'll be no hesitation. There'll be no waiting for boost pressure to increase. But again, it's a very bipolar vehicle in the sense that you have a lot of efficiencies, which usually it's an oxymoron for a supercar. But yet it packages so well that it has, I guess, bipolar tendencies.
I love it. The styling of this car, the fit and finish, I'm noticing different elements taken from other McLaren vehicles that make this its own unique standalone.
Yeah, so obviously, everything in a McLaren has to, hit their DNA, which is a carbon fiber chassis, first and foremost. So, but to touch on your point, everything is brand new on this car. Body panels, interior, engine, wheels, I mean, you name it. It's the next chapter in McLaren. So we do have a brand new tub. The sill is much, much thinner now than it's ever been, so it allows for easier ingress and egress from the vehicle. The few customers that have already sat in it said, wow, I can't believe how easy this car is to get in and out of. But it's also 11 pounds lighter than Monocell 2 and 17% stiffer. So even though we're saving weight, we've actually added more performance to it as well. So weight is the enemy. We found ways to combat that, and even our last lightest weight portion of a chassis, we've even made it better now on the Artura.
What has the response been so far from customers about this? And do you think this will be something people are considering and dipping their toe into? It's the best of both worlds. You get your supercar, but you get to also explore EV.
Exactly. And so there's been great hype around the car. We have sold quite a few pre-orders already. And actually I believe the first two customers that came in today to see the car are already talking about purchasing one. So literally my customer at 9 a.m., the first Canadian appointment, is already speaking about buying one of these cars. So he's thoroughly impressed. He's coming out of a 650S Spider. So if that puts anything in perspective, we're talking a Super Series car, and now we're going to a hybrid, and he is more than ready to jump into the deep end head first.
For you, what was the most anticipated feature on this car?
I think it's the new technologies that are in it. I mean, we know performance is going to be there regardless. It's McLaren. I've never got into a McLaren before that was unimpressive from any aspect of the drive. But I think up until now, we didn't incorporate some of those must-have, creature comfort systems like Apple CarPlay, Android CarPlay, adaptive cruise control, basically lane departure assist. So there are a lot of new technologies in this car that I think people are just used to having, which is going to make them even more connected with the McLaren moving forward.
Mark, tell us about some of the newest things on the Artura and really what makes it stand out from an exterior standpoint.
For sure, for sure. So obviously, brand new exterior design on this car. Being McLaren, being a Formula One company, we're very much involved in aerodynamics. So this car would be no different to any other McLaren, for that being said. I mean, you can see it looks like it was shaped in the wind tunnel, no question about it. The front end, the properties of how the air will flow through here, through the radiators, even goes to the point of now we have standard louvered fenders on the Artura, with the principle behind it just being reduced air pressure at speed. So it'll help evacuate air out of here as you're driving instead of having it build up and creating lift. This was always an option on the cars, sometimes as much as $13,000 to $15,000. It is now standard, which is great because obviously the more things to keep your car stable, the better. As we walk down the car, we have a much larger air intake system and high temp radiator venting here. So I think it's very pronounced. I think it's one of the defining features of the car. I mean, there's almost, I'd say, about 6 inches from where this starts and to where it meets the fender there. Mm-hmm. So it is a massive scoop. There's definitely no way of not seeing that. And then we move to the back of the car. Again, not a lot of aerodynamics in the sense of wings. But the cool thing about McLaren is we don't always need wings to create downforce. So if you look at the two flying buttresses, which are these two pieces here, it'll actually channel airflow in and help suck the car to the ground. And then we also have a lot of lower aerodynamics on the car. So if you look at the diffuser here, it's from outer wheel to outer wheel, and there's no interruption of exhaust work. The exhaust work all comes up top, which is another really cool feature of the car because you have 2 turbos right up top inside the V. In fact, this is quite hot right now. And what that does is it allows us just to create a straight pipe exhaust almost, straight out the back. So we're using less material than we've needed to before. It's actually better for turbos to have a clean airflow. They can boost up quicker. And then that little chimney right here, as they call it, as you drive, it actually helps suck the heat out of the car. So you go from about 900 degrees Fahrenheit down to around 250 in a matter of about a minute. So very, very functional. And then if we're talking about a little bit more trick aerodynamics, again, you can see here, not a lot of downforce coming from the sense of a spoiler. You're used to seeing Sennas that have like a picnic bench on the rear of the car. They've actually done it through a cool control arm, a design. And I can't show it to you, unfortunately, but basically as the car increases in speed, it actually helps hunker it down further to the road. So very much kind of F1 technology hiding beneath the skin of this car here.
Okay, Mark, let's talk about the interior of the car because that's where you spend most of your time.
Absolutely. And it's a great interior to say the least too. So let me show you a little bit more about it. I'm going to hop in here. So first and foremost, this is the new Club Sport seat, which is basically a racing bucket, but it does not feel like one. I'm quite comfortable in the car. It's it grabs my body nice and tight, but it's not pinching me anywhere. I'm quite impressed, to say the least. Now, some of the new components of the car, obviously, which is what we're here to talk about today. Everything, for a lack of better words. So what we'll do is we'll start with basically what's right in front of the driver, the steering wheel and the instrument display panel in front of us here. What we've done for the Artura is we've actually taken a lot of design from a fighter jet. Obviously, with a fighter jet, everyone has to have their hands right in front of them on the wheel or stick at all times. And that's the idea behind this now. So instead of having driver and handling changes down here in the center console, it's now all at your fingertips. So as I'm driving, whether I'm racetrack or road, I can make a handling change, I can make a powertrain change, I can turn off traction control, or change the transmission mode as well. And it's all stays together. So no matter where the steering wheel is, whether it's here or up here, everything stays in this relation. Other than that, we also have a brand new infotainment system right down here. And if you guys have seen the McLaren Elva, it probably looks very, very familiar. And in fact, it's the exact same thing. Common misconception, though, was that this type of style of mode changing and this screen here was developed for the Elva. That's not true. It was actually developed for the Artura. It just worked so well that McLaren said, it works so well, we're putting it in our $2 million car. So you do have Elva technology, for a lack of better words, inside of your Artura, which is very, very special. High resolution screens. You can see the backup camera is almost like watching a 4K television. So yeah, we're very, very impressed. Ergonomics, the display, the setup of everything, including even the touch of the leather. I mean, it's super, super soft. Nice Alcantara touches to the steering wheel, just to be a little bit more feedback. But all in all, very, very impressed with what McLaren's done.
Exciting. When will cars be landing here for purchase?
So this is obviously not our car. This is just here for show purposes.
Yeah.
It's here till Saturday, March 27th. Our first driving cars will be here in August of 2021. They're all 2022 model years. They start at $280,000 as an MSRP. And the really nice changeover for the Artura is we've had a change in warranty and maintenance. So now the Artura is going to come with 5 years new vehicle warranty. It's going to come with 6 years warranty on the hybrid system. It's also going to include 3 years prepaid maintenance in that as well. So you really have nothing to worry about jumping into a McLaren. All you have to do is have fun behind the wheel.
I love that. Thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
If you have any questions, you can comment in the section below. We'd be happy to get right back to you. You can also contact Mark or anyone here at Pfaff McLaren. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.